that the area of freedom that each one is given is the different length of the chain as the dog has, That area of length of the chain is the area of freedom for the dog. You understand? So everyone is born with a different length of the chain. That means the capacity, quality and the ability of that being. That is the length, which is who has decided, I don't know. You are born with that. So the dog is a dog because dog has no intelligence. He cannot think. So he has to go to that point where he starts choking and understand that this is the area where I cannot go beyond. But humans are humans. We know because we have an invisible chain which is not visible. So that invisible chain we have to understand through our own intellect, through our own observation, and through our own past experiences. We want to know that which limit is my limit. You see, if you understand this, then this understanding will make you know the limits, the area of limitations and the area of freedom. So now your question, I don't know what is the question.
No, the point is for me that you never know if it's a fear that is blocking you or is just the real capacity. To see how long...
For that you have to try. Yeah. You see. For that...
My understanding is that what it is that you think is what actually is the reality. So if you think I can do it, then you can do it. But if you say to yourself, yes, I can, then...
But even with this I can, you can go up to certain point.
That's right.
But
if you don't say I can, then you don't even...
That is what he is saying, that out of fear, many people do not even take the risk.
But it's not just fear. It's just self-confidence, believe in yourself.
How does it come?
I don't know. Does it come out of fear?
The people who see that self-confidence or that
trust, or maybe trust in yourself.
But that needs a lot of understanding. That needs a lot of intellectual observation. You see, if you are dependent on somebody for all your answers, then you don't have confidence. You see, the people who do not have the confidence, if you really see them, they are totally dependent on somebody's answers, somebody's instructions, somebody's guidance. It's like a blind person all the time holding somebody's hand. You understand? So the one who has confidence shows that he has some clarity of his own. The clarity, how does it come? Through your own understanding. How your own understanding comes? Unless you observe by yourself, inquire by yourself, study by yourself, experiment by yourself, and through your own intellect, learn something out of that. But if you are just all the time dependent on the ready-made answers, my parents in the childhood were giving me ready-made, my then school teachers, then religious masters, then everybody, like, it's like you are constantly dependent. I am saying that you have been gifted with this capacity to understand, and understanding has to be yours. And if you have your own understanding, there is no possible way of building that self-confidence. Self-confidence comes only when you have your own understanding. You see.
And trust in yourself.
The trust, confidence is the same. But the person who has the confidence, but now there is a strength of the confidence and a strength of the mind. You see, that there is two different things. The strength of the mind is to fight, and the strength of that confidence is through the understanding. The strength of the mind comes from the misunderstanding or non-understanding, and the real strength which you have is coming from your understanding, your own clarity. Then there are two different ways that outwardly it looks the same. That person who is a fighter, he looks like he has a confidence, but he has a confidence into its own ignorance, into its own fight, into the strength of the mind. You see, that's a totally different thing. So I don't know what you are referring to, the self-confidence. Is it clear?
Yes.
So sir, so the fear and everything that we are referring to is something related to the mind.
When you say accept yourself as you are, you accept, but maybe you may change. Is that?
Acceptance means that you do not desire to change.
So, where come this impulse to...
The moment you just stay and say yes, that separates you from that whole clouded mind where you are clouded with the knowledge area, the condition area, and you become free, and then in that freedom you see something better, something more clear, and that clarity will give you your own understanding, and that understanding will lead you towards the growth. So the change will happen there through your own understanding. And the change is when you understand you are connected to the flow, because the life is not a stagnant thing. It is moving and changing all the time. So the moment you connect to the flow, you are flowing in the direction where the flow is flowing. So when you are flowing with the flow, that flowing itself reflects in your life in the change and in the growth.
So it's spontaneous.
It's a part of happening. So your change and growth will happen. You understand? So you are not going to be lazy, you are not going to be stagnant, and you are not going to be as you are. When I say you accept yourself as you are, the mind questions, if I accept myself as I am, then there is no growth. I will be the same. Then I have to work hard for that. I am saying that when you connect to that flow, you are connected to the nature of the flow. The nature of the flow is to move and change. So you are going to move, you are going to change, and you are going to grow. But not the way you want it, the way life wants it. This is where the difference is.
So if I understand correctly, if you go with the flow, as we say, then the length of the chain can change.
No, it is not the length of the chain. It is the ground that starts moving.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. So change is possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Change and movement is the nature of life. It is the nature of the ground where you are there. So it will start, you are not aware, you know. The problem is somehow you have created some place, like a dog creates a place to rest, and the ground moves. Because it is the nature of the ground. And the dog is so frustrated that what to do about this? This is our situation inside. You see. And that is why we are all the time holding something, you see, that it should not change, it should not move. It's with this desire of the mind to change and grow. You see, you cannot change the length of the chain, but you can cooperate with the movement of the land which is going. You see, you understand what I am saying? And that is not your freedom.